Hey guys, some of you might remember my old Feuersalamander tank setup video. I will link it here. And right now I think it was time to renew the whole setup because it's now already a few years old. So I had to renew moss, bark and the other hiding places and decorations. And it was also time to renew the substrate because the soil began to become very hard, and Feuersalamanders, like most ground-dwelling amphibians, prefer a loose ground in which they can dig and build burrows. So yeah, I renewed the whole interior, and in the following few minutes I will show you the different steps of setting up the new tank. As drainage layer under the actual ground layer, I will use these clayballs. They can hold a high amount of humidity, and the water, if I put too much water into the tank, can just stagnate in this layer, and the actual ground layer, the soil, won't become swampy. This is very helpful in an amphibian tank with a high humidity level. Now I can put this thin layer of filter cotton on top of it. This cotton will prevent the soil to fall in between the clay balls, so that there's a separation between drainage layer and actual ground layer. As ground substrate I will use a mixture of garden soil or forest soil and these coco ground bricks. These bricks are really cool because when you put them in water they expand enormously. So out of only one brick you can get a few liters of substrate. So this is the resulting amount of only 5 of those bricks. It's about 60 liters of substrate, and this is about half of the whole amount of substrate which I will use in this tank. The rest of the substrate will be made of forest soil. Just like in the previous setup, I will mainly use different mosses, bark pieces and leaf litter as hiding places and as decoration. And additionally, I will also use some plants like this ivy. I always use live mosses and plants in my tanks because together with tiny invertebrates like earthworms and isopods, they help to build a stable bioactive setup. Alright, this is my finished setup. I have added a few invertebrates, like I said before. Earthworms and isopods, for example, help to build a bioactive setup, so they will mainly feed on the salamanders' feces but also on dead plant materials, so they are somehow the cleanup crew of this tank. If you want to take plants and soil from outside, so for example from a nearby forest as I do, then you of course have to make sure that there are no amphibian diseases in this area, especially in times of the spreading of the chytrid fungus. It is really important that you choose carefully. I have now only this small water part for the Feuersalamanders, but as they usually don't go into water, just for giving birth, this should be no problem. Before I had a really big water part. Yeah, I think water part was up to here. So yeah, about a third of the tank was water. But yeah, it wasn't used that much, so I think this should be no problem. I hope you liked this video, and if you have any questions left, feel free to ask in the comments.